the Justin Robert Young program. JuRY for short. Brought to you as always by the folks who pay us. PayJuRyDaily.com is where you go for that. If you pledge at a certain level, you're going to get your name at the end of the podcast. Man, it's a fun time for everybody. So head on over there right now. PayJuRyDaily.com. But enough of talking about how we support the show. Oh, what do you say we just do the damn thing? Well, howdy, folks. Welcome on to the JuRY Show. My name is Justin Robert Young, JuRY for short. We've all been there. Yeah, we have. We have all been at this position. In fact, I would guarantee you that this audience, you, everybody watching me, everybody listening to me, is probably the most likely to be in this position. You're in your car. You're idling. You are behind several other cars. It's maybe a long line. And slowly but surely, you make your way forward. This is a tedious experience, friends, because I want to put you in the position that the hour is late. We are probably past midnight. There are food options that are very limited around you. And yet here, at the end of this wagon train is salvation. Salvation. I am, of course, talking about the Taco Bell drive-thru late at night. The communal waiting for fourth meal. Well, there was a situation that I think is very relatable that we can all go ahead and marvel at. Folks, this is a story from the Kansas City Star. Missing taco sauce sparks gunfire at Taco Bell drive-thru, Oklahoma City police say. A Taco Bell customer shot out a drive-thru window and stormed into an Oklahoma City Taco Bell early Monday following a confrontation about taco sauce, KOCO reported. A man was complaining about not getting enough sauce or not getting any taco sauce and was very upset, since Sergeant Gary Knight. The clash started at the drive-thru lane at about 1:25 in the morning. The angry customer shot out the drive-thru window with a semi-automatic handgun. He then stormed inside as employees locked themselves in the bathroom. The Oklahoman reported workers could hear him banging around the inside of the restaurant. It's unclear what he did while he was in there while they were hiding. The man eventually left before police arrived. So he has gotten away with this, but apparently it all starts when he doesn't get enough Taco Bell sauce. I got a few thoughts about this. Number one, if you are a Taco Bell employee, don't be stingy with the fucking sauce. And I know what you're saying, JuRY. You're blaming the victim here, and I'm sorry that I started at this point. But it is important. Never be stingy. I never get when these fast food restaurants are stingy with this shit. It doesn't matter. Give them the sauce, baby. We're here at 1:30 in the morning. Do you think that I made life decisions correctly that has led me to a Taco Bell at 1:25 in the morning? If there is any moment for sweet, sweet mercy in the form of Taco Bell mild sauce, it is right now. I want infinite packets in the goddamn bag. That being said, if you are shorted sauce, I caution all of you from taking the steps that this man took and firing bullets inside the Taco Bell. That is obviously wrong, and we should be shunning that behavior. So join me in a shun, shun, shun. However, it did lead me to get to this thought here, and I'm going to reveal something that I feel might be controversial. I'm going to do my top five fast food sauces. These are sauces that, in the spirit of this story, I'm going to say would provoke anger in me if I were not allowed to get it or enough of it. So I'm going to start at number 5. Starting at number 5. Whataburger spicy ketchup. It's a good idea. It's a fantastic sauce. I like it. You can put it on the burger. You can dip the fries in it. It is versatile. Versatile. Whataburger spicy ketchup is my number 5. Now, I think number 4 might get people a little fired up, all right? Because this is not going to be something, and I'm stretching fast food a little bit, but I do think that these places do have some drive-thrus. So I'm going to throw it in there. Yellow mustard at Subway. I don't know why. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that it's popular. I'm saying it's what's in my heart. I love yellow mustard at Subway. If I were unable to get yellow mustard on my sub, or they told me that they only had honey mustard or golden mustard or spicy mustard, I would be bummed out. I would be angry. I would be upset with it for whatever reason. A brown mustard. Look, on a hoagie, on a sub, on a grinder, I need yellow mustard. I don't want brown mustard. Now, brown mustard, I want on a toasted sandwich. Okay? For whatever reason, I think the grit of the brown mustard goes better on a sandwich. 2 pieces of toast, a little bit of lettuce, maybe a ham sandwich on toasted bread, brown mustard all day. Okay? But on an old fashion, a blue-collar Italian hoagie. Yeah, come on in for a hoagie. That's what you're hearing in your head when you are brought in for this kind of sandwich. And we're talking about all sorts of cold cuts, talking about some salami, talking about some capicola, talking about some ham, talking about some pepperoni, talking about some mozzarella. Little lettuce, little tomato, oil and vinegar, salt and pepper, oregano, and then toss that fucking yellow mustard right there on that sub. I don't know if Subway has any of the gabagool. Number 3. Burger King's barbecue sauce. Burger King's barbecue sauce. Not out of the squeeze bottle, out of the packet that you would have for the chicken nuggets. All right? Burger King's barbecue sauce. I think for a while it was like Longhorn produced or sponsored. I don't know why. They don't have the best chicken nuggets. That's obviously McDonald's. Or I could go with Wendy's, but they have the best barbecue sauce, and that is my favorite thing to dip chicken nuggets in. So if I saw a McDonald's and a Burger King right next to each other, and what I wanted was nuggets, I would go with the Burger King nuggets because I like the sauce better. And I guess they're not nuggets, they're chicken fingers, which Tally Zarell in our chat room right here says look like small breaded dildos. I will also point out here in my list that 3 through 5 are at a lower strata than my top 2. My top 2 are God tier, okay? My top 2 are lounging in a palatial landscape atop Mount Olympus. They are the rare and privileged 1%. 1%. This is my number 2 selection. Arbys sauce. Rare in the world of fast food, nay, the culinary landscape writ large. Is there one restaurant in which can make themselves a sauce and name it after them, and we all know what it is? Arbys sauce is underrated. Arbys sauce should be on more things. Arbys sauce should be ubiquitous. It should be sold in every store, like by mandatory law. In fact, I would vote for a presidential candidate if they said that they were nationalizing Arbys sauce. I don't know what I wouldn't like Arbys sauce on. In fact, and the next time I go get a steak somewhere, I'm going to ask them if they can go get Arbys sauce for me. I don't even know what the fuck it is. It's like a weird different version of a barbecue sauce. I don't know. It's just great. One of my favorite things I used to do. I used to go to Arbys, and I don't even know if they still have this fucking sandwich. It was called the Big Montana. Any of y'all down with this Big Montana? It's called the Big Montana, right? And it was a big old roast beef sandwich, nothing else on it. Literally just the Arbys sandwich, except it was massive. It was like the size of like my palm. It was huge. I don't know if it's the Meat Mountain. It may be called the Meat Mountain now. But what I would do is it came in a plastic container. I would open up the plastic container, remove the top bun. I would squeeze no less than 3 Arbys sauces on top, right? I would then put that back down. I would close the plastic container. I would turn the plastic container over. I would then open the plastic container. I would remove the bottom bun, and I would squeeze no less than 3 Arbys sauces on the bottom. Therefore, there would nary be a bite of this mountain of a sandwich without the delicious injection of Arbys sauce. We are now getting information into our chat that the Meat Mountain is their every meat sandwich. The Big Montana is now just the large roast beef sandwich. Go get that shit in your life. Number one with a bullet, and I mean that literally, since that's what flew through this window, presumably because this man in the Kansas City story did not get what I am going to say is the best sauce in the history of fast food. Taco Bell's fire sauce. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what makes it different than other hot sauces. All I know is it feels like the past and the future has collided. It feels like nostalgia and possibility had a baby and they put its offspring in a tiny container with a funny saying on the front. I look at it, I laugh, I open it, I pour it on my taco or burrito, and I feel alive, ladies and gentlemen. Taco Bell fire sauce, next to jazz and professional wrestling, might be America's greatest export. There are people around the world that can consume Taco Bell's fire sauce and know the logical destination of the dream of our founding fathers. It is the best. I challenge you. I challenge any of you to defy my list. Go ahead and send me your list. JuRYDaily@gmail.com. Again, JuRYDaily@gmail.com is where you can send in your top 5 list of fast food sauces. Only fast food sauces. I don't want to get in there and see, well, I don't know this thing at Chili's. Fuck that. Chili's ain't got a drive-through. Maybe they do. Don't at me. We know what fast food is. We know what fast food is. And any of you Weisenheimers want to throw in mayo or mayo-based products, well, I don't even know what I do. I don't even know what I do. I just get all fired up. All right, we got emails here. JuRYDaily@gmail.com again is where you can get your emails in there. Sean writes, maybe it's too late for Christmas posts. A neighbor of mine has a cross in their front yard. It is lit with a ton of lights, one every inch in any direction. The cross is 3 feet high. I can only think of a burning cross every time I see it. Am I witnessing a dog whistle, or are my neighbors clueless about the way the cross may be perceived? If it helps, I am white in a mixed-race neighborhood, and I'm pretty sure that the neighbor is white. How do you tell? All right, so Sean, my question to you is, do you like your neighbor? Are you friends with your neighbor? If you're friends with your neighbor, then I say it is up to you. It is contingent upon your friendship to ask them, hey, what's the deal with the burning cross? If you are not friends, then I think you are safe to assume they're racist. Not to say that they are, but maybe you just think that, right? And then you make friends, and you find out they're not racist, and you say, well, shit, man, I thought you were dog whistling to Aryan Nation folk with your burning cross outside. That'd be my recommendation. Make friends with him. Find out if he's racist. This will be a good little 2019 New Year's resolution. RJ writes, I'm learning how to walk a fine line. I recently founded a charity. It fills a need that's been a chronic problem in my community, and I've been receiving a fair amount of notoriety for it and quite a bit of money. I've had people I've known forever choking back tears, congratulating me for it, and total strangers stopping me in the public to tell me how rad I am for starting a charity. But here's the problem. I'm a self-loathing asshole who can't take a compliment. Literally, every time someone tells me what a great thing I'm doing, I try to deflect that sentiment back to the donors, and it always makes them feel uncomfortable. So what should I do? Find better ways to deflect or learn to accept a compliment. If it helps, I'm white. And the charity provides help to homes without adequate heat during the winter. First and foremost, RJ, ew, you're so good. Ew, RJ, helping the world. Ew. Just kidding. RJ, number one, you are doing something rad. Here's what I would recommend, specifically in a situation like that. You want to make your win their win. So basically, if you're talking to donors and they're like, thank you so much for starting this charity, and number one, they want to know that their compliments were registered on you, right? That they got to express what they think about you to your face. That is an important part for them. So you can take that. I would say it doesn't have to be any more than just eye contact, handshake. Thank you. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's all that needs to happen is you need to stick out your hand, give them a handshake, maybe do the double, like you're holding the handshake, like the handshake is so precious it needs a blanket, like that kind of handshake, and then just unbroken eye contact. Thank you. Give a little bit of a pause and then turn it back on them. You need to recognize the compliment and then move it on. If you are really, you don't want to spend a lot of time on it, I can appreciate it, but I'm telling you, the fastest way to do it is to acknowledge it. You acknowledge it, and then you move into, none of this would be able to happen without you. You guys are the real people. I just had an idea. You guys are the folks that make it real. That's the biggest thing. Because as much as they want you to know that they think that they want you to know that you're cool, everybody also wants a little for themselves, right? Everybody wants to know how they can wet their beak in that same pool. So you become, and also here's what's better for them, because they do want to be complimented. You have to become super awesome guy, and then it's more important when you're like, but your work, you're the real hero. That's the key. Matt writes, I was listening to your story about the earbuds. Oh, this is Waffleophagus. I was listening to your story about the earbuds, and one thing stood out to me. Hands down, your biggest mistake in the story. You said you were drunk and about to take an Uber like a responsible adult. I know you can't, you don't actually own a car, but for the sake of the argument, you do in this scenario. But instead, you took a scooter. That was a mistake. Under most states' laws, operating any kind of vehicle on the road, including a scooter, can get you a DUI. So take this as a PSA to all the JuRY faithful. If you're drunk and you just called an Uber or Lyft, and or your sober roommates or even a taxi, don't drive or scoot under the influence. I'm aware. This goes back to a story we told before the holiday that I was over at a friend's house. Decided to not wait for the Uber that was on the way because I saw a scooter and I was feeling adventurous. And then I dropped an AirPod out of my ear and I couldn't find it because it was dark. And then I found it the next day and it was run over, so I had to get a new AirPod. And I went to the Apple store and I had to wait because it wasn't open. So I went to a place and I got avocado toast. But you're right. You're right. The most embarrassing part about it is that I did scoot. It is illegal. That's not a good example. You should not be scooting under the influence. If you're unaware, though, these are the electric scooters. So they run about 15 miles an hour. I don't remember swerving or anything. But, you know, hey, I probably wouldn't be the best example there. So I didn't think it was that far of a journey. Of course, that's what everybody. Okay, all right. I'm gonna take the L on this one. I'm gonna take the L, and the L stands for, look, there's an asshole drunk scootering. I want to give a big shout out to our producers, Bill, Dustin, Middle-Aged Mike, BioCow, Robert H., Brian C., M, and Trey the Melodica Man. Hey, you want to know when all the cool new merch comes out? Go ahead and get on our mailing list, bit.ly/stickers or DIAF. Hey, you want to email me? Email me. JuRY Daily, JuRY @gmail.com. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat @JustinRYoung, and you can join our Discord at bit.ly/JuRY Discord. Discord. That about wraps it up for us today. Folks, until tomorrow, please give a big round of applause for Mr. Wacky, but more importantly, please, don't. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.